Welcome to Tasteful Words. I'm your host, Derek Silver, and this is episode 10. Thank you for joining me for another poetry reading. Before I get started, make sure you hit that like button. It costs you nothing, and it helps get the episodes, the videos out to more people. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you hit the subscribe button. And if you haven't hit the notification button and you're already subscribed, make sure you do that now. So, we back for another poetry reading. This one is an old one to me, but a new one to you. Now, this one I wrote back in 2015, and the inspiration behind this particular poem was I just started going to therapy. I just started my healing journey. I was suffering from depression and anxiety in the past, and this was probably the first time I creatively wrote anything about what I was going through at the time. It took me back to read it all over again. It took me back to those times, those feelings and stuff, and it also made me see how much I've grown since then, how much I've grown, how much I've healed, how much I've evolved as a person, as a man. And this poem is called I Wanna Cry. And I even hesitated about sharing this, which was weird because I talk all the time on my podcast, the Taste to Consider podcast, which is also on the Taste to Consider network, about, my healing journey. I talk about depression and anxiety, things that I've gone through. But I still felt kind of hesitant about even wanting to share this for some reason. But I've grown, so I pushed myself through, and I'm going to share it today. It's very difficult for a man, especially a black man, to talk about crying and be vulnerable about that. But it is what it is. Men are human just like everybody else. We have feelings, we have emotions, and crying is part of that. So this poem I'm about to read, once again, it is called I Wanna Cry. I wanna cry. I wanna cry because I'm afraid to die. I wanna cry because I feel like God punishes me when I lie. I wanna cry because I wanna fly. I wanna cry because as time moves, I feel I'm standing by. I wanna cry because it's hard for me to see the sun when rain is in my sky. I want to cry because I'm searching for a career, not just a job where I wear a tie. I want to cry because every day I want to smile and be happy, but you'll only see me sigh. I want to cry because I want to let people in, but I'm afraid they'll eventually say goodbye. I want to cry because I want to move forward, but I'm afraid to try. I want to cry because nothing comes out, so I pray, but God doesn't hear my cry. I want to cry. Thank you for joining me for another poetry reading. I'm your host, Derek Silver. This has been another episode of Tasteful Words. Make sure you like, share, download, notifications, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I appreciate you, and I'll see you next time for another episode of Tasteful Words. I'm out.